So we've been looking at the touch that changes everything when it came to the woman with the issue of blood. And we are coming to the last little bit of this study. And the first thing that we saw her condition. She had this condition of an issue of blood for 12 years. But then we also saw that she had confidence. She had confidence that if she could just touch Jesus, that it would change everything about her life. And then the last thing I want us to see is that we see her confession. It says in Mark chapter 1, verse number 30, and Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned himself about in the press and said, "Who touched my clothes?" Jesus knew exactly who had touched him. He wasn't surprised by the touch, but he was giving this lady an opportunity to publicly confess her faith before everyone around her that Jesus was the one who had healed her. Jesus desired for her confession. It was a fourfold desire. Jesus had healed her so that God could get the glory. He also desired to bless this lady's faith. He wanted others to have the opportunity to put their faith in Jesus. And I'll get to the fourth reason in just a little bit. When we're willing to confess that Jesus has done things in our lives, it allows others to see him more clearly and others to have an opportunity to come to know him. It's so important for us to share Christ with others around us and to have an open testimony of what Jesus has done in our lives. The fourth reason why I believe God had touched this lady and asked for an open confession. If you remember, at the beginning of this story, Jesus was on his way to Jairus' house to heal Jairus' daughter. I believe the fourth reason why Jesus asked for open confession was so that she could encourage Jairus. If you remember him, he's the one that was following along. Could you imagine how Jairus felt when the interruption took place? Remember, his daughter is sick and dying. They were in a hurry. His daughter may not make it. And this lady comes in and is a divine intervention, a divine interruption. Imagine the hope that Jairus had when he saw that Jesus could heal this woman who had had sickness for 12 years. No doubt, the confession of this lady helped strengthen the faith of Jairus. It's important. And we're going to see that when we look at Jairus' life, when we look at a touch that happened in his life. Maybe today you're like this lady in our story. You need a powerful touch of God on your life. Are you willing to reach out and grab hold of him? Maybe you've already grabbed a hold of him and you've seen God do miraculous works in your life. Share that with others. Are you willing to share what Christ has done for you? Or maybe you're like Jairus and you're in need to be encouraged in your faith. Are you needing faith to be strengthened? I like this verse. It sums up everything about this lady's life. Psalm 50, verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Glorify God today by sharing with others the things that God has done in your life.